Hey and welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. So today we have the Leaps and Bounds event, this allowing us to double the rate at which we earn these progression rewards. These progression rewards can give you all sorts of items, from trade bars to companion tokens to preservation wards to even coalescent wards to some epic insignias and even these new unbinding tokens. And there's much more that can be earned. Now, in order to obtain these progression rewards, you basically over level. So you'll theoretically gain XP just by killing enemies. Questing unfortunately no longer gives XP, but we can see this progress bar at the top left there of our character sheet. You can see that I'm currently on 73% and we have double progression event is on. So how does this translate to what you kill and how much percentage you gain? Well, I've done some figuring out, some testing and some math to find out how much progression you actually gain from killing what types of enemies. For example, we go and we jump into this group of enemies. You can see that we've gone up a few percent there to 76%. So how does this translate? You can see this group of here, you can see they all just had one dot and we didn't actually gain any progression there. We're still on 76%. We can go and kill this Hezrao and we will finish him off, getting potentially a lore, and you can see we're still on 76%. So what enemies do you have to actually kill to gain the most progression? So I've done this testing and figured out you have to kill 25 of these tier 1 enemies to gain 1%. You can see these guys are tier 3 and we killed a bunch of tier 2s there as well, and with killing that group we've gone up to 77%. You can see these guys here are tier 2s, all of them there, and if we go and kill them all, that probably won't put us up a percent, but we can see it did. We got to 78%. Now, how much do you actually gain per enemy type? There's even a tier 4 there. He'll for sure get us up a chunk. But I've made a chart and you can see exactly how much progress percentage you will gain per enemy tier. Those tiers again are rated off how many dots they have above their heads. You can see the enemies here. They have these dots just above their hit point bars. All of those guys are tier 3s and this guy's going to go slaughter them all. Ideally jump to an instance where there isn't so many people, but Avernus seems to be full at the moment. It's a popular time of the day, and otherwise you don't really want to be killing all these puny tier 1s. You're going to need to kill 25 of them to get 1%. On this chart you can see a tier 1 monster will give you 0.04% of your progression gain. Keep in mind, these stats are with regards to this Leaps and Bounds events with the double progression. So normally this will be halved. You can see tier 2 monsters give a 0.2%. So that's a 5 times better than just killing tier 1s. And we go to tier 3s. They're not that much better. You only need to kill 3 of them to get a percentage. With tier 2s, you have to kill 5 of them to get a percentage. With a tier 4, you nearly get a whole percentage just by killing one of them. It's 0.83%. And a tier 5 will nearly give you 2%. But tier 5 enemies, realistically, you're never going to run into them, except for, in at least Avernus, this blood war. When you go and kill the party, the main leader of that party is a tier 5. There are also some boss enemies, and you might think that you may as well go do some Avernus hunts or go and kill some elite enemies. Unfortunately, the same tier system acts with these elites. Even these guys who are elite and have like double the amount of normal hit points will only give the same amount of progression as the normal enemies. There seems to be no impact whatsoever if they're elite or not. And if you're to go use all your lures and summon these bosses and fight them, they seem to give no progression. We tested it out. We're already on 80% there, and you simply just go around slaughtering all of the enemies. Keep in mind, no effect if they're elite or not. And I'm not exactly sure, I haven't tested out when you go and kill things in a party, but you're going to have to actually kill things. You're going to have to get the hit on them to be able to get that percentage. So again, for somebody who's a healer or a tank, this is absolutely not an event that you're going to have any fun with. You're ideally going to have at least one character that you can do some grinding in that can output a lot of damage and just kill these enemies nice and quickly. I'm just killing these elite enemies because this instance is pretty bare right here. Ideally, I'll jump to a different area and we can kill some more enemies. In my opinion, Avernus is one of the best places to do this, since you can also gain Zariel favor if you still have the Redeemed Citadel active campaign. If you bought the premium pass on it, then you can still grind Zariel favor. And otherwise, there is the whole hunt system, where you kill these certain enemy types and they will give a chance to drop those hunt enemies. We can see, you saw me there at the beginning, we saw one of those Hezrau and we also killed it, and they have a chance to give you those drops, which then you can combine together. There's a whole system. I'm not going to go over it in this video since that's not what it's about. What it's about is claiming these progression rewards. And you saw, again, we can obtain multiple different types. Here I've switched to the previous server. I've copied that character over. Unfortunately, I only have 2 of these grinded out. And let's go open one of them. You can see 10 Tourmaline trade bars, and you can see on the next one we obtained a Rime Fire Golem. You can obtain companions, and you can see they're unbound. On another character here we can open some more. We got some genie gifts, we got a preservation ward, and on this character we got 5 mount upgrade tokens. We got another preservation ward, and these preservation wards are bound to your account, so you won't be selling those. The same with the coalescent ward that I showed you guys that I got. It was account bound, and now I have 3 of them, one from invoking and then another one from the premium pass. All bound, but you can spend unbinding tokens on them. Not that I would recommend doing so. Just use them personally and upgrade different things, and you can always sell the thing that you upgrade if it's still unbound. So with that, you can see we can obtain loads of different rewards here, even pure astral diamonds. So is this actually worth grinding out just by itself, just for those rewards? No other motive in regards to just slaughtering all the enemies in a zone? In my opinion, it's not worth purely just doing that. What you want to do is ideally be doing some questing, be doing something else that is going to relate to just killing enemies. Some method of like just farming hunt lures, let's say in Avernus, where you're going to be killing enemies anyway. You could be doing any of these different campaigns. They'll bring you through quests. The majority of them will require you to just kill certain enemies and just go and do so. Keep in mind, if you go to lower zones, if I went down to the lower zones like Neverdeath Graveyard, most of the enemies are like tier 1s and 2s. You want places like here. You have tier 4s, you have tier 3s. All of these will get that progression up nice and quickly, and you'll be able to claim those rewards. Now, this video isn't going to show, let's say, drop rates and things. Ideally, I'm going to need to open 1,000 of these. So throughout this event, I might go and grind up at least 10 of these on one character. We can copy it to the previous server 100 times and open them all up and then get some drop rates. But as of right now, just wanted to let you guys know the best ways to actually farm this progression and how it actually scales. You can see again here, these are the percentage gain for the monster type that you kill. Again, you'll need to kill 25 tier 1s to get a percent. You need to kill 5 tier 2s to get a percent. You'll need to kill 3 tier 3s to get a percent. At tier 4, you'll nearly get a percent just by killing it. And at tier 5, you'll nearly even get 2% just by killing it. As for killing bosses or even the hunt bosses from Avernus or Chulp, they don't seem to give any progression. I've also went and jumped into a whole bunch of different skirmishes, different dungeons, and they seemed also to give you barely any progression. I thought Merchant Prince's Folly would give me like loads of percent because the amount of Bateries and enemies just there, but apparently they're not. Whether it's some combination with just having lots of different party members or those enemies just don't give any progression. I'm not exactly sure. I'll need to do some further testing on that. So let me guys know if you find any sweet spots where you can farm this progression like really quickly. But if you want to keep it to yourself, then by all means do so. There's no point getting your place overcrowded if it's at least a public area. So again, I'd like to give a massive thank you to all of my channel members for helping me keep my channel going. And if I presented this well, consider leaving the video a like. And if you're new around here, consider subscribing. We'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.